1. Pulp Fiction. Starting off with a film that everybody had a poster of to make them look cooler than they actually are, it's Pulp Fiction. When Mia Wallace overdoses, Vincent Vega marks her chest with a marker so he knows where to stab her with a needle, which is very sensible. But when she rises from the dead, it's magically disappeared. Ooh. 2. Aliens. In the mega sci-fi sequel, poor old Bishop gets torn in half. Oh, we all have those kind of days, don't we? But as Newt's sliding down on the floor, he grabs onto her to stop her dying. While he's, already dying. What a guy! But you can see the hole in the floor that Lance Henriksen is standing in. He's not actually cut in half, it's just movie magic. That's clearly faded away now that we know how they did it. 3. The Dark Knight Rises. As Bruce Wayne is hunting down Catwoman who stole his jewels, a Gotham Times front page pops up, and it turns out the journalists in Gotham really can't spell. I know it's tough, supervillains in Gotham all the bloody time and everything, but come on guys, I'm for E except after C. 4. Terminator 3, Rise of the Machines. While John and Catherine are in the airplane hangar on the runway, the Cessna's tail number is clearly visible as N3035C. Unfortunately, when the Cessna's doing its thing up in the air, it somehow managed to change its tail number to N3973F, which isn't even close. 5. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Even the HP franchise isn't immune to continuity errors. And in The Prisoner of Azkaban, there's a mysterious case of the moving hedge. At the beginning of the scene, the hedge is there, acting all innocent. But after Aunt Marge floats away, the hedge has moved and made the window twice the size. I think that's, more movie magic than the actual stuff, but still. 6. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone, or Sorcerer's Stone if you're from America. This wasn't the first instance of the HP franchise mucking up. In fact, they messed up the continuity in the very first film. First, Harry's on the right here, and then pops up next to Hermione in the next shot. And he's too young to apparate, so how the hell did that happen? 7. Toy Story. Just before the hooker lowers down the Pez duck onto the light bulb hole, all sounds very dodgy, the team lift the light bulb out of the way, except it's clearly bigger than the hole so it wouldn't fit. Also, can we go back and have a look at the locks in this sequence? How could they be locked from inside if Sid left the room? And these locks appear to unlock themselves as well. So unrealistic. 8. Spider-Man. When Peter shoots his web, lol, he manages to smash his lamp against the wall. But when Aunt May comes to talk to him a few seconds later, it's magically reappeared somehow. 9. Independence Day. Jeff Goldblum, quite naturally, gets a bit stressed with all the goings-on in this film, and so he turns to what we'd all turn to in this situation. Booze. But he gets a bit clumsy and knocks over a bin, which seems like it belongs to someone. 10. Pretty Woman. Speaking of things that keep magically changing, in Pretty Woman, Vivian's first morning in the hotel after sleeping with Edward, she's happily munching away on a croissant, which then somehow magically turns into a pancake. A slight twist on the continental breakfast classic. 11. North by Northwest. Okay, so imagine this. You've been taken out to a nice cafe in Mount Rushmore when suddenly you get the intense feeling someone's about to get shot. And, of course, as you know, it's very important to protect your hearing in this situation, so you put your fingers in your ears. Very sensible advice, I know, and that's exactly what this kid here did. Except the kid in the movie universe wasn't meant to know that was going to happen, was he? So that's the fourth wall shattered. 12. Reservoir Dogs. When the gang bring in Marvin Nash to be tortured, it's very clear they've cuffed him with his hands behind his back. But he then dislocates his own shoulders, well, either that or no one on set was paying attention, as his arms appear handcuffed in front of him instead. 13. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers. In this scene, when Pippin and Merry are hurrying away from the Uruk-hai, their hands are supposed to be really closely tied together. But just seconds later, when Pippin nearly gets squashed by a rogue horse, hey, it happens, Middle-earth, his hands are suddenly totally free. 14. Cobra. Sometimes a little bit of improv is a good thing, but in Cobra, Sylvester Stallone goes a bit too far. He goes ahead and rips this guy's shirt, which would have been absolutely fine. However, it reveals the actor's microphone pack that he taped to his chest. 15. Die Hard. This film is an absolutely balls-to-the-wall classic, despite the huge amount of mistakes in it. But my favourite is definitely Bruce Willis's fake feet that he wears as little boots. I'm not sure if that's cute or disgusting. 16. Jurassic Park. Anybody who says they weren't browning their unders when the Velociraptor came into the kitchen is a liar. But did you spot the huge blunder? As the door opens, a hand reaches out to steady the monster's tail, which does make the whole scene a little bit less terrifying and a bit more like the Muppets. 17. Terminator 2. The T-1000 is pretty bad arse, but when he nearly gets to Sarah and John and is shot in the head by Arnie, we get this shot for a split second. Don't know about you, but this looks like he might already be cut in half. Just look at the huge hole on the back of his head. 18. The Avengers. Poor old Captain America. He's trying to save the world and he gets hit by a blaster bolt. That guy's an octogenarian war vet, man. That's not cool. Luckily, Thor helps him up and we see his lovely little super suit is a bit of a snug mess. Luckily for Captain America though, by the time Iron Man has saved the day, he's managed to sew up the mess. What a man with a plan. 19. Batman Begins. Just before Batman throws the tumbler off the car park, a police officer demands he gets out of his vehicle, but just a few moments later, he pops up again in a totally different part of town. He's got Harry Potter's randomly apparating disease. 20. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Remember how great this movie was? When there was a battle and polar bears were involved and Tilda Swinton was a crazy witch who stabbed a child through the arm. Looks awful in the first shot, but luckily for Peter, we can see she's actually just stabbed the ground above his arm. Close call. 21. Star Wars. Of course, no self-respecting list of movie mistakes would be complete without the world's most famous and most beloved head bump. Ready, here we go, ready, and BAM! Oh, poor guy.